Ladies and gentlemen, what if I were to tell you that Christopher Steele, hired by the Democratic Party, was paid approximately around $163,312 to compile a dossier against Trump to get government agencies to investigate him. So this is a British Independent article. Former British spy paid more than £125,000 to detail Donald Trump links to the Kremlin. Now, Christopher Steele's company, Orbis Business Intelligence, produced the controversial dossier. What if I were to tell you that Fusion GPS got $50,000 per month? That's according to the redacted contract that you can look at online. So I'm just linking, or I've shown you, or I've discussed, cited an article in The Independent. Basically, Christopher Steele paid more than £125,000, which is $163,325, to basically tear apart the United States of America and divide the country into believing that an incoming president was installed by another country. Now, I'm not exactly sure if these numbers are entirely accurate, but the $50,000 per month retainer, the $125,000, according to The Independent, for Christopher Steele, the $80,000 per month salary that Hunter got when he was part of an oil and a gas company, the millions that he got in a deal that eventually was with a company in China that was sanctioned by the United States government. Where do you think this money comes from? Where does all this money come from? Well, some of it comes from Bernie Sanders supporters. So I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. Where do you think all this money comes from to pay people, tech firms? We're not even getting to the tech firm that said the DNC was infiltrated by another country, because the DNC servers were never given to the United States government or agencies. So you have about 10, 12, 13 entities, tech executives, people who were paid either indirectly or directly by the Democratic Party or through the law firm that represents the Democratic Party and the Clinton campaign. Here you have Ed Buck sentenced to 30 years in prison. Here's a Democratic mega donor said to have given $500,000 to the Democratic Party. There's a picture with him and Madam Secretary. And I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. Nothing could be better for the planet. The only thing that could be better is, hopefully soon, Elon Musk purchases all of Twitter and either dissolves it completely, because he knows very well they're going to use that platform, that Tron for apoplectic, hysterical, highly educated, morally superior liberal Democrats. It's the Tron. It's like, the movie Tron. You go into the video game. It's a cyber reality. It's an echo chamber. It's a dystopian digital nightmare that will be used against anyone who is outside of the mainstream narrative, which is a fabricated, contrived narrative anyway. But here you have a Democratic mega donor, and I love CBS News political donor, Los Angeles ABC political donor, The Guardian wealthy donor. You better believe if it was Trump, if it was a Republican or Trump donor, oh my God, Trump donor, person who gave $500,000 to Trump, serving 30 years. But if it's Democrat, it's just a political donor. We don't really know. But the Durham Probe Special Counsel, we'll get to the link. The Durham Probe Special Counsel is going to find out eventually, I think, where this money came from. Where did that money come from? Not difficult to ask. John Durham it's not difficult to ask, and it's within the purview, within the mission statement of the Durham Probe Special Counsel. Where did they get the money for the Steele dossier? Bernie Sanders supporters? Vote blue no matter who voters? You're giving your money to the Democratic Party. You're paying for opposition research. And not just any opposition research. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I will have, probably tomorrow, the introduction to my satirical comedic channel, Indict and Imprison 45. And you can see everyone in the Democratic side is getting indicted and imprisoned. This is like the 9th Democrat in the past year. Not even in the past 8 months to be arrested or indicted or sent to prison. It's Tammany Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats enrich themselves. The most lucrative endeavor on the planet is to be a Democratic politician or operative. You get a lot of money. Hunter is now an artist. Do you understand what I'm talking about? He's an artist now. His artwork is being purchased by anonymous people who acquire his art. He's not an artist, but he's now labeled an artist, so he's selling his artwork. Okay, and before he was an expert in oil and gas. It's just he's trading his family name to enrich himself. The Trumps don't do that. They are very knowledgeable about real estate. The father Trump, the Donald J. Trump, has built a brand, so the brand exists. No one's going to buy a hotel with the name Biden on it, okay? It'll probably be a dilapidated, rundown, property if it's just like President Mashed Potato Brains. But Trump has a brand that he built for decades. So he doesn't need to trade his name for access or the possibility that billionaires or wealthy people or corporations or businessmen, business people around the world will say, hey, I want to do business with James or Hunter or Joe because, you know what, I'll get preferential treatment or beneficial treatment like the Uranium One people who gave money, and miraculously President Obama didn't veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. Gee, that's miraculous. And where did 20% of U.S. uranium capacity go? Oh, that's right. It went to big bad Putin. So you have a wealthy Democratic donor in prison for 30 years for ending the lives of 2 people. And you look at these Democratic donors, Hollywood producer in the big house for decades, a person who had a painting, don't bring that up, of somebody in a blue dress who both will remain nameless, mainly the person who's no longer with us. Thank goodness. Despicable human being, another Democratic Party donor. This Democratic Party donor now is in prison for a long time. Lieutenant Governor of New York. And Clinton has pictures with the Hollywood producer and other people, other Democrats too. And this mega donor. But you get these liberal journalists, these wonderful journalists, they go up to conservative journalists, you're a garbage person. You're a garbage human being. Who are you? If you are voting Democrat, you have zero right to judge anybody. You are voting for people linked to the epicenter of corruption in American politics and society. The epicenter of corruption. 20 years ago, it was the Bush administration with Cheney, Rumsfeld, and Bush. And the Lincoln Project people jumped from there into the Democratic Party. That's why they label everything democracy. Anything that they don't like, democracy. Oh, we have to uphold democracy. Anyway, Durham is going to find out where all this money came from. You can't just go ahead and pay somebody $160,000+. $50,000 per month, Fusion GPS. All of this money, where does it come from? Where does it come from? You're going to have Democratic mega donors being investigated with a money trail. It's really not difficult for Durham and the special counsel. The special counsel doesn't just have to investigate Christopher Steele. The special counsel can ask Christopher Steele, well, how are you paid? Can ask The Perkins Coie attorneys. Well, wait a second. You were the intermediary to funnel money to Christopher Steele and Glenn Simpson. Well, how did you get paid? Where was that money? How'd you get that money? How'd you get that money? And so that's the issue. The issue, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. Durham, if he follows the money, will get to people like this convicted, horrible, really, truly garbage, horrible human being. Okay? You have to understand something. The people who actually engage in the most evil, despicable acts, Democrats are fine with them. It's the friends or family members that happen to, God forbid, vote for Trump. Oh my God, the end of the world. But this Democratic donor, they would embrace his rear end if they met him at a dinner party. Believe me, they would embrace his rear end. Give me your thoughts below. And God forbid, they might not live to see the next day with this person who is in prison right now. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you.